the Chicago White Sox. We'll go top 5 strengths, weaknesses, diamond in the rough. Number 1's Braden Montgomery, an outfielder. ETA is 2027. If scouts could make just a baseline skill set in the lab, and I say baseline because he's got to develop a little bit, this would be it. Montgomery is a switch hitting power hitter, and he's starting to add more pop to his game. Making his pro debut in 2024, he played across 3 different levels of minor league ball and hit 270 with 12 home runs and an 804 OPS. Not bad, but it keeps going up. This guy was one of the return pieces in the Garrett Crochet trade. Chase Mydroth was in there, debuted, had a nice rookie year. Kyle Teal was in there, debuted, had a nice rookie year. And it was the Red Sox who picked Montgomery, 12th overall, in the 2024 MLB draft. He's got a 70-grade arm. It stands out from the rest of those skill sets, and that makes sense considering he's another one of those guys who just casually pitched in college and threw 96, and now he's out there in the outfield throwing seeds. So not always wanting to hit his cutoff, man. He likes to show that arm off a little bit. Thing to work on. He may be a switch hitter, but he's been struggling a lot as a righty. In college, he hit just 227 with a 29% strikeout rate from the right side, tendency to chase. From a left side, he hit well over 300. So there's a stark drop off there. Number 2 is Noah Schultz. We'll get your guys' input on him in a little bit here because he is fun. Left-handed pitcher, expected to debut this year. One of the most electric pitching prospects in baseball today. A fastball slider 1-2 punch comes with scouting grades of 60 and 65 for the slider. He's 6'10", and while that 99-mile-an-hour fastball is impressive, it's a 3/4 arm slot that makes his wipeout slider from that 6'10" frame that much more deadly. 11.4 K per 9 rate across 3 years of pro ball. Stylistically, scouts are saying think Randy Johnson, but at 22 years old and more developed than Randy Johnson was at 22 years old.
Wow.
Scary to think about. So lofty comp. He has to live up to that if that's what we're going to tab him with. But for someone who's 6'10", something that should be reassuring to Sox fans, he is fluid. It's a repeatable motion, great body control, not a whole lot of elbow issues either for someone throwing 99. So still working on that tertiary pitch. Right now it's looking like it's going to be the upper 80s changeup. Doesn't use it a ton, but if you want to be a starter, you got to be able to have at least 3 pitches, preferably 4 or 5 to work with. Guys, kind of open-ended question here, but what is it about the freaking White Sox and having dominant lefties? They've had Crochet, they've had Chris Sale, and I don't know, comparing someone to Randy Johnson seems really lofty, but depending on what you've seen about Noah Schultz, I think it's a fair comparison just based on how he looks.
They're the anti-Brewers, really.
Yep.
Developing all those lefties, but like you said, that is a very, very lofty comparison. I don't know if you can be a Randy Johnson when you just have like 2-pitch mix, really, maybe a 3-pitch mix. Granted, though, that's all Randy had, but he also played in an era of baseball where it was a little easier to get past guys with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball with some length in that delivery. But dudes around today's game are a little more accustomed to facing that level of pitching. So who knows, right? Like I said, we don't know how good these guys will be at the big league level until they're there. But Noah Schultz, the sky seems to be the limit right now, and he's already about halfway there because of how tall he is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. At least it's not Randy Johnson, pitching, hitting a bird like mid-pitch or whatever.
Noah Schultz gonna have to do that to be the true Randy Johnson 2.0.
Yeah, but he's just impressive. I mean, like 99 miles an hour, just like, and he's still developing too, which he's going to be scary. But kind of to Sam's point here, that's kind of a lofty comparison. If you're just comparing to other pitchers, it's not fair to be compared to Randy Johnson, but he has the stuff, but again, being compared to him, it's kind of lopsided.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to take it like this. These scouts aren't going to throw those comparisons out there for nothing. And here's the thing. He doesn't need to be Randy Johnson. He needs to be a good starting pitcher. There's another guy in the top 5 I'll bring up in a moment who can pair with a pretty respectable rotation right now. Sox won a league worst in league history, 41 games 2 years ago. They just need him to be decent. They just need him to be a competent major league pitcher with some good stuff. And the next guy, not a pitcher, but someone that could be the future shortstop, In right field, it's Billy Carlson, ETAing in 2029, first-round pick from this year. He went to Corona High School in California. It's a school that produced a pair of top 10 picks. Seth Hernandez to the Pirates went 6th overall. That was Billy Carlson's teammate, who went 10th overall for the Sox after they went 41 and 121. They somehow got stuck with the 10th overall pick. Got a little luckier this year. Carlson has remarkable hand-eye coordination. He's scouted as being able to make any throw at any angle off any platform. Scouts have him as the best infield arm in that draft, saying he's smooth, he's got the quick feet, checks off all the boxes, also referred to as a gold glover waiting to happen. We'll see if that's in the minor leagues and or the major leagues. Offensively, he has expected 20 home run power, does mess around with his stance and likes to tweak the swing a lot. Coaches in the past have tried to tell him just to stay stable, get really good at something, and then make the tweaks. Sometimes, as of late, he's gotten too long with that swing, holds off more of a passive batter at times, or looks like more of a passive batter at times, kind of saws off the swing. Excited to see the 70-grade arm and the 70-grade fielding attributes debut in a couple of months in Pro Bowl. Number 4 is the only non-first rounder in the White Sox top 5 right now. All the other guys were picked in the first round. Caleb Bonemer, he's a middle infielder, starting to shift to that left side, listed as a shortstop or third baseman. He's scouted as having one of the quickest swings in the 2024 prep class. Bonemer generates plenty of power to pair with that hand-eye coordination. High hands position at the plate. He's had to work on timing at moments. Year 1 in the pros was a good one for Bonemer. Spent most of his 107-game season in single-A Kannapolis with the Cannonballers. Hit 281 with 12 homers, 64 ribbies, 874 OPS. He has a violent swing. It's one of the many attributes that made him Michigan's Gatorade High School Player of the Year, not once, but twice his last 2 years of high school. Swing is so violent, though, as a byproduct, he's a little slow out of the box. And I only say that because once he actually gets going and accelerates, he's got a good 60-yard dash time. It's just let go of that bat and start your running motion a little sooner. There's still a debate going on whether he'll be at short or stretch over to third, and that debate's allowed to go on for a while. They're not expecting him to ETA for another 2 years after this year. Number 5, guys, this dude has the craziest story I think I've seen out of a high school player. Hagen Smith, left-handed pitcher, 2026. Every time I go to his scouting report, I refuse to believe this. He took his junior year off, had Tommy John surgery, very sore elbow, life's not great. Comes back, not only healthy, he tossed 7 no-hitters his senior year. Sam, you've played high school baseball. How many no-hitters have you been in person for? Ever? Like, that is unbelievable.
I think I've been there on the field for a couple one-hitters.
Yeah.
Like, maybe 2 or 3 of those, but I don't think I've ever seen or experienced a no-hitter when I was in high school playing ball.
And he threw 7 in one season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, high school seasons are a little different. It's like 2 to 3 games a week, so sometimes you can get away with pitching like every third game, right? Even if that's the case, what did Hagen Smith throw? Like 10, 15 games? And he had a no-hitter in half of them? Maybe more? That's
yeah.
I don't know what the comp was, but it's high school baseball.
Yucky.
You're playing against other people who competed and tried out. It's nuts. So that was Hagen Smith in high school. Surely he can't get better and set the bar even higher, right? Wrong. Off to Arkansas he goes to be a Razorback, where he won SEC Pitcher of the Year honors and set an NCAA Division I record with a, not a typo, 17.3 K per 9 mark. Striking out 2 out of every 3 guys when he registers an out. Unbelievable stuff, right? So things are going well, right? Things are going well. 7 no-nos. Yeah, all of a sudden you're striking out 17 per 9 in the conference for baseball at his time. All types of upsides. So it's going to translate to the pros, right? Hopefully, it hasn't yet. Hagen has had trouble locating what is now a mid-90s heater. It is down a couple of ticks. The elbow's starting to get a little sore, according to scouts last year, which is not great. Slider is not as sharp. It's not generating a ton of chases. He's not fooling guys anymore. And then this past summer, the elbow flares came up even more to the point where they had to start watching his innings. So Sox coaching staff is actually tweaking his delivery as we speak. They're looking at quieting it down, slowing it down, looking for a less violent motion. That might lead to less velo. We will see. Despite all those struggles I just mentioned, though, here are his numbers. He struck out 108 hitters in 75 and 2/3 innings pitched. It's not the 17.3 K per nine anymore. Still pretty damn good. He did walk 56 hitters in 75 innings. So the control is alarming. The lack of an ability to locate that slider and create any deception is alarming. Still had a semi-respectable ERA. I still am holding out hope that the future of the White Sox rotation is Hagen Smith and Noah Schultz in some order, 1-2. Probably not this year, maybe next year. Noah Schultz is projected to go up this year. So is Hagen Smith, but depending on what the soreness looks like and how much they have to limit his innings, I am going to caution myself. Strengths are going to be easily pitching between those two as long as Hagen can reel it in. Weaknesses is high-level hitting, specifically high up in the pipeline. No hitters in the Sox top 10 listed prospects right now, again, we're going to get a new list soon, are expected to debut in 2026. And this team is in dire need of run support in the big leagues right now. Mydroth and Teal just graduated not too long ago. Carlson Montgomery has a lot of pop, but he was hitting around the Mendoza line. It's about that next generation coming up. My diamond in the rough is someone who I actually saw in the Northwoods League a couple of years ago. He's a 17-year-old playing against 20, 21-year-olds and hitting moonshots off him. It's George Wolkow. He played for the Green Bay Rockers when they won it all a few years back. He's number 10 in this system. He's an outfielder, ETA 2027. Kannapolis Cannonballers broadcaster Dan Haloti joined me on the channel a couple weeks ago and said this guy is a freak athlete, and when he sweet spots a ball, no one is hitting it further than anybody. He has not been able to see a human being in person that can generate as much power as George Wolkow when he times it up. Now, the problem, he's not timing it up very often right now. He's 6'7", 240, all the power in the world when he connects right. 13 homers, 69 runs batted in, 770 OPS is fine in Kannapolis this past summer, but those home runs aren't wall scrapers. They go 400 and something feet. So 19 years old. Yeah.
You mean to tell me
that
go. They have Randy Johnson and Aaron Judge in their top?
6'7",
That's
240.
awesome.
Yeah. 6'7",
That's
240.
Wicked. And Aaron Judge had his struggles early on, too. Let's not forget that. He was a little bit of an older prospect, but he also had his struggles early on. So this is nuts that we could be seeing a potential Judge archetype of a player in George Wolkow.
He's huge, and Dan had told me 240 is being very, very generous. With all the muscle he's packing on, that 6'7" frame, he does not look like a string bean. It's not out of the stretch of the imagination to show up for media day and all of a sudden see 255, 260 next to him.